Okay, we're about ready to go. So the order of the business is going to continue, and we're going to start with some wrestling awards that that President of the Wrestling Committee, Shane Gorder, will hand out the regional awards as well as another honored guest. So I'm going to let Shane have the head table to start with, and we'll go from there.
Thank you, Dave. Good evening. What a great opportunity we get to meet again. We're not in wearing masks, not worrying about the COVID. I mean, this has been great. It's been almost a year and a half since we've been able to come together and have our business. I'd like to congratulate these young athletes that are up here that'll be being recognized here really soon. And I get an opportunity to recognize 4 outstanding wrestlers from Montana. Our first wrestler, Liam Swanson. He's the son of Heather and Jack Swanson of Great Falls. Liam Swanson is a 2-time high school state place winner and 2021 high school state champion. Liam was voted most outstanding wrestler this past season for the Great Falls High Bison, helping them lead to a third place team finish. Liam placed first at this year's state AAU tournament, and he represented Team Montana last month in Des Moines, Iowa, on the senior-junior team, earning a silver medal with a record of 7-1. Liam has a grade point average of 3.48 and is committed to wrestle at the University of Providence, where he will major in business. Liam also received all conference awards this past year for fullback and defensive end positions. Liam was nominated for the Wrestler of the Western Region by Corey Johnston of Butte High School. This year's Western Divisional Outstanding Wrestler is Liam Swanson. Is anybody here from Great Falls that might be able to return that to him? Otherwise, I will make sure that he gets that. We do have 2 of our outstanding wrestlers that are in the room tonight. I encourage them to think about a thank you as they come up to receive their award. Our next outstanding wrestler, Damian Leinholt, is the son of Dave and Carlina Leinholt. He has 2 sisters, Brooke and Robin. He has been a member of the Miles City AAU Wrestling Club for 10 years in Miles City. He carries a grade point average of 2.9. Damian's high school win-loss record was 201 and 11 losses. He's a 4-time state placer and a 2-time state champion, a middle school champion, and a 2-time All-American at the Lee Pamelac Duels in Iowa. His most memorable wrestling moment was winning each of his state championships. He was a member of the football team for 8 years and a member of a state championship team for Miles City. He was involved in track for 2 years and in 4-H for 10 years. His volunteer activities are helping with Adopt the Highway Project, Adopt a Grandparent, backpacks for underprivileged children, helping at the food bank and the pet shelter. Damian works on his family farm and ranch and helps with doctoring cattle, calving, feeding, fencing, haying, irrigating, and fixing the pipelines. Your outstanding Southeastern Division wrestler this year is Damian Leinholt. I know there's probably a few that can grab this award from me later here and take back to Miles City. Our next individual, Cade Graves. He's the son of Ty and Aaron Graves. He has 3 brothers, Ethan is 24, Aiden 18, and Reese, who's 14. Cade attends Sydney High School and has been a member of the Sydney Wrestling Club for 14 years in Sydney. Cade carries a grade point average of 3.1. In high school, Cade was a 4-time state placer. placing third, fourth, third, and finishing his career this year as a state champion. His career record is 183 wins, 24 losses. He has 114 career pins and was the co-team captain this senior year for the Sydney Eagles. He helped carry the team to 4 state championships every year he was in high school. Cade was a 3-time AAU state folk style champion. He was a Black Hills national champion, and at the Lee Pamelac Middle School Duels, Cade is a 2-time bronze medal winner, a 1-time copper medal winner. As a member of the national freshman sophomore team, he was 2-time All-American, earning a gold and a silver medal as a member of the junior senior national team. He was a copper medalist. As a member of the Disney national duel team, he was All-American gold medalist and a 2-time copper medalist. His most memorable wrestling moment was winning an individual state title and his 4th team title with his team this year. Cade also participated 2 times with our national German culture exchange team, where he wrestled for Sydney against the German team. Cade is a 4-year member of the high school football team, played AAU tackle and flag football, where he was a member of the 2-time championship team. Cade has participated in track for 4 years and is Boy Scouts of America for 5 years. Cade's volunteer activities are coaching, refereeing at practice for Sydney Wrestling Club AAU program and at tournaments in the Eastern Division. He has also delivered Meals on Wheels and has completed service projects for the Boy Scouts of America for the last 5 years. Year outstanding Northeastern Division wrestler, Cade Graves.
I'd like to say thank you for the nomination, and thanks to my parents, Ty and Aaron, and my coaches, Guy Melby, Nick Lonsky, and my dad, Ty Graves. Thank you.
Our next individual, Cooper Birdwell, is the son of Chris and Misty Birdwell. He has 2 brothers, Caleb and Connor, and a sister, Rebecca. He attends Fergus High School and has been a member of the Lewistown Freestyle Wrestling Club for 14 years. His grade point average is 3.97. Cooper's career record is 178-0, with 701 takedowns, 87 pins, 46 techs, 310 near fall, and is ranked 8th in the nation at 132 pounds by the USA Wrestling magazine. He is a 4-time undefeated high school state champion, a Fargo and Virginia Beach All-American, 3-time Judd Beck Rocky Mountain Classic champion, 1-time outstanding wrestler, 3-time CMR Holiday Classic champion, and 1-time outstanding wrestler, 2020 Western States Championship Greco outstanding wrestler, 4-time AAU state champion, 5-time state Greco champion, 2-time freestyle state champion, and 1-time Triple Crown winner. Cooper has competed on Team Montana in the national middle school and high school dual teams in Iowa. He was a 4-year team member, as he was undefeated gold medal All-American for 2 years. He's also competed at the Cadet National Duels for Team Montana. His most memorable moments are winning a state championship with his brother, placing 3rd as a team, and earning All-American honors at Fargo. Cooper is the student body president, junior class president, is a National Honor Society member, a member of the Mentor Program for 3 years, Spanish Club for 3 years, Impact Team for 1 year, student council representative on the school board for 1 year, outdoor club member for 1 year, and has composite ACT score of 28. He was involved in football for 3 years, flag football for 2 years, soccer for 7 years, swim team for 1 year, t-ball and baseball for 6 years. Cooper was also the 2021 Blue Wit Scholarship winner, and he is committed to wrestle at Oklahoma State University. Earlier today, Cooper was mentioned as the Gordon Smith winner, where he receives a $1,000 scholarship. Cooper also lands in the record books in Montana right beside 3 other members that were 4-time state champions and were undefeated in Montana. That included Gene Davis, Jade Rouser, and Bo Melia, and now Cooper Birdwell. Your outstanding wrestler for the South Central, Cooper Birdwell.
So I want to start by thanking my parents, my family, and all the support they've given me the past, 14 years in wrestling. And all my coaches, especially my high school coaches, but also the coaches who have helped me at like Fargo and the summer stuff. And I'd like to thank the officials and everyone else in Montana who has supported me. Thank you.
Try not to kill myself getting up. So at this time, I'm going to introduce Jean Olson. She'll be our primary speaker today, but before she does that, she'll hand out our Outstanding AAU Contributor and AAU Service Awards. So I met Jean about 1984 in Miles City. She came down with the Cold Strip people, this bright-eyed young mother, had a little kid. She thought she was going to the best thing in the world. And she came with the Cold Strip people, who were absolutely the wildest people who had ever gone to an AAU convention. Far wilder than I, and so I know this. Anyway, she came, and before the meeting was done, all the Cold Strip people got up and walked out and were quitting. And so Jean's going, but I'm having a good time. Everybody's buying me drinks, and why am I have to go? With that said, Jean stuck with the program, became a leader on the Cold Strip team. She was their club treasurer for 2 years, president for 4. She was a delegate to the state convention that's going on today 10 times. She was the Montana Amateur Wrestling Association, which we've talked a little bit on and off as we go through today, for 6 years. She was second vice president of the Montana Association for 3 years. She was first vice president for 2 years and president of the Montana District AAU for 10 years. Jean was a Montana delegate to the AAU National Convention for 12 years. She ran this organizational Montana Little Sullivan Awards for 12 years and took it from being not very important to a pretty class act. And Mike has picked that up, and we think that this honor that we give to kids today is really great. And if it wasn't for Jean's effort and before her, Harold and Nan McLaughlin, if you turn over your programs, you'll see the list of recipients of this award. There are some great athletes on that list that have received this award. Jean was very instrumental in making sure that happened for 12 years. She served on the National Wrestling Committee as the National Secretary for 10 years. She worked at various national tournaments in Florida, Virginia, Michigan, and Montana. She was recognized for her services, including the Montana Association Outstanding Contributor Award, the National AAU Outstanding Service Award. She was co-winner of the Wide World of Sports Volunteer of the Year Award and the National AAU Wrestling Hall of Fame inductee in 2009. She was the National AAU Volunteer Hall of Fame inductee in 2012. Jean has been a leader and a delight to follow as a member of the Montana delegation and as part of my life since 1986. And we don't always agree and we don't always see everything together, but we always go away loving each other. And I think that's what wrestling family does. And so I'm going to have Jean come up and do those 2 awards, and then she'll move into her speech. Thank you.
Is there a microphone here?
Just talk. It's right
Oh,
there.
okay. Oh, this is different. All right. All right.
We've upgraded since you were in charge.
Yeah, really. Before I used to have something here and you never knew if you were talking in the right direction. Okay, I'm honored to present the Montana AU Outstanding Contributor Award this year. And this award goes to an individual who has volunteered over 20 years of time and knowledge to the sport of wrestling, hosting classes for track wrestling training and running tournaments from youth to high school throughout the state. She's our current Montana AU treasurer and has served in this role for 7 years now. And before I present this award, I was talking to her earlier today and she said, well, you know, something about t-shirts. And one of the first times I worked with Amanda was when there was a national tournament, wasn't it, in Butte? And so we had been working in the pairing room, and, you know, they always have this whole stack of t-shirts. I mean, they're just piled up there. And so I'm walking around seeing how everybody's doing, and I talked to Amanda, and she said, well, did you get your t-shirts yet? And I says, oh, no, I didn't. Well, she had this really nice stack of folded t-shirts on her table. So I went through and I said, well, I need a large, and, you know, so I took a group of them. And then I looked over and I saw this stack over there on the side, and I thought, like, did I just take all your t-shirts that you folded so nicely? And she's, that's okay. You know, I think she was intimidated by me. I don't know. But anyway, it was one of the things we've laughed about for years, how I took away her t-shirts and she had to go get some new ones. So this year's recipient is Amanda Cortez. Congratulations, Amanda. Make sure I get the right one here. This is contributor. Yep. Do you want to say something?
What?
Sure.
Hey, you're in your hometown. You can say something.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank your mom and dad. They're good.
Thank you, Mom.
Okay, this year's Montana AU Outstanding Service Award goes to the MONDAC API, or American Petroleum Institute, out of eastern Montana and western North Dakota. This group has donated funds for many years to Team Montana wrestling teams for their travel and expenses in order to compete at national levels in Orlando, Florida. They also donate funds to the local Sydney High School Invitational, and this I think is just kind of cool, enabling out-of-state teams to fly in for competition. MONDAC API also makes donations to the local Boys and Girls Club, high school clubs needing financial assistance in order to attend national events, and other groups that apply for financial assistance. Annually, they provide scholarships to graduating seniors as well as college students that meet scholarship requirements. Congratulations, MONDAC API. And accepting this award will be Terry Williams. You're not going to say anything?
Thank you. Thanks, Mom and Dad.
Okay, I have something that's really not on the agenda, but I'm going to do it anyway, just because. Involvement in AAU has spanned decades for many of those involved. Some volunteers even started when our national AAU house was in Indianapolis. About 1994, the national AAU moved to Orlando, Florida, and in 1996, that brick building in Indianapolis was torn down. Some AAU volunteers at the time thought it would be great to, and I quote, rescue some of the bricks from the building, cut them, put a brass plate on them, and distribute them to some of the AAU family through the country. Walt and Karen Agate, and Walt is here tonight, longtime Montana AAU members and officers received a brick for the Montana AAU. They brought it to a convention one year and had created a quiz about AAU. The highest score received that brick. I won that contest, and I have had the brick at my house for many years. I know that at least one member of our Montana AAU really wanted that brick. As it said in the letter that accompanied it, and I quote, "It was not the building that made us a family, it was the people. I hope the brick will serve as a reminder to us all of the strength and friendship we shared," unquote. He is still involved after all these years, and I felt it only right to pass his brick on to him. Dave Bennett can now add this to his collection of AAU awards and trophies. I hope it will always remind him of the friendships he made through the AAU. Dave, I have it here in the back.
I really wanted this brick when it first came out.
No, we did. I know we
30
did.
years later, I get it.
You always
Thank
want
you,
everything.
If it's an award, I want it.
Or a shirt or a warm-up.
And I have the letter that goes with it someplace. I don't know where I put it. Okay. Oh, here it is.
Thank you.
Okay, so now I go on. So is it time for the,
Oh, yeah, you're rolling.
okay, well, I better get this.
You need your notes.
Yeah, I need my notes. This would be really
If I'd have known that you were going to give me the brick, I'd have hid that notebook.
I just want to thank everybody for, the introduction of me and my years in AAU were just such special years. I really miss it, and it's quite an honor for me to be here tonight. Serving in the past as the AAU Little Sullivan Award chairperson was one of my favorite positions in the AAU. It allowed me to get to know some really great young athletes and actually their families over many years. When I first started as the chairperson, I often had to explain what this award was about. I would call somebody and say, "Yeah, you're a finalist for the Little Sullivan Award," and they would go like, "Oh, yeah." So I would kind of go into detail. Throughout the years, though, with lots of help from the media, and people have learned about our award, and I hope each of the finalists here tonight feel honored to be selected as one of the finalists. I would also like to thank all those that support these athletes. The support of family, coaches, and friends can be a great contributor to the success of any athlete. They may not always be on the winning side of an event, but each time they can learn something to help them deal with disappointment and improve. This spring, I had a great day watching two of my granddaughters play AAU volleyball. That net must have looked very far and very high from some of them as they attempted those overhand serves, but they kept trying. Those first steps can be frustrating, but patience and encouragement from others can make a difference. The AAU provides our youth with many opportunities like this in many different sports. Our Little Sullivan Award gets its name, and I see a lot of this is in the program, so If it's, something that you've read, I'm going to talk about it again. But it gets its name from the Sullivan Award given by the National AAU to one athlete every year. It was established in 1930 to honor James E. Sullivan, AAU founder, past president, and a recognized pioneer in the amateur sports movement. He was a director of the 1904 Olympic Games and was appointed the U.S. Commissioner to the Olympic Games 3 different times by Presidents McKinley, Roosevelt, and Taft. Past winners of the Sullivan Award include 69 men and 19 women. Yeah, the low number of women kind of bothered me, but when you think about it, that was during the time when women were not either allowed or were not interested in sports. And so I think since then, if anybody watched the NCAA women's basketball tournament and saw those women flying on the floor and getting up and going, and I mean, times have changed, and I'm hoping that throughout the years, some of these numbers will change as more women become involved in athletics. Bobby Jones from the sport of golf was the first winner of the Sullivan Award. The first woman to win the award was Ann Curtis in 1944, and that was in swimming. Olympic sports dominated the winners during the first decades. We now have winners that compete in many different sports. Many names would be familiar to all of us, including Peyton Manning, who was one of my favorites, Rulon Gardner, Dick Button, Carl Lewis, Wilma Rudolph, Bill Bradley, Paul Hamm, Michael Phelps, Missy Franklin, Bonnie Blair, Tim Tebow, and Michelle Kwan. Our Montana Little Sullivan Award was started by David and Ella Ravines, who lived in Miles City. He was a past president of the National AAU, and both David and Ella worked with the Montana AAU for many years. Ella estimated that the Little Sullivan started in 1955. Only one award was given that first year, but from then on, it was to be given every year to one male and one female who were from Montana. Winning qualities did not include what school, university, or college you attended, or which sport you participated in, but instead, the winning qualities included leadership, character, sportsmanship, and ideals of amateurism. These qualities contribute not only to success in athletics, but also to success in life. The benefits of competing in sports goes well beyond that first place medal or championship trophy. While our Little Sullivan Award winners may not be as well known as the winners of the National Sullivan Award, our list is still pretty impressive. Looking back through the list of past Little Sullivan Awards, which have been in your programs, that brought back many memories and familiar names. Many chose to continue athletic careers as either competitors or coaches. One of our Olympic participants, Brian Wilson, who won a bronze medal in freestyle skiing, brought his medal to our banquet when he was nominated for the award. He asked me if I'd like to put it on. Well, what an easy question that was. Sure, you could say I took an easy way to wearing an Olympic medal, even for a short time. And of course, I had to have a picture taken so I could have that in my memory book. I was surprised at how heavy that was. Additional Olympian Little Sullivan winners include Mike Zadig in wrestling, Heather McPhee in freestyle mogul skiing, Todd Foster in boxing, Eric Burgust in aerial skiing, where he won a gold medal, Scott Davis in figure skating, and Julie Brown in marathon. Several of our past winners have gone on to become coaches. Brandon Eggum, head wrestling coach for the University of Minnesota. Lori Payne, head women's basketball coach at Northern Arizona. Peyton Ferris, after turning pro and competing in basketball in Europe, came back to MSU and is now an assistant basketball coach. Shannon Cates, a former head basketball coach at U of M, and Jordan Sullivan is a current assistant at U of M. Mike Zadig is a wrestling coach at Iowa State, and Mandy Carver an associate head coach in basketball at Fresno State after time spent in the WNBA. Aaron Popovich competed internationally in Paralympic swimming. Other winners competed for or coached pro teams, like Mike Person and Croy Bierman, who were drafted by NFL teams. Dave Dickinson is a head CFL coach. Josh Hustis is in the NBA, and Patrick Casey is a pro runner. Pat Spurgeon became the first Olympic champion in air rifle for women, is now the interim president of the University of Alaska system. Emmett Wilson, who wrestled for at MSU Northern, won the Don Hodge Trophy in wrestling. This is equivalent to the football's Heisman Trophy winner, which I thought was quite impressive. This is just a sampling of our past winners, some from many years before I was involved. I know I've talked mostly about careers in athletics, but many winners have also excelled in other areas. Success seems to be a common theme, not only for those that win the award, but for past finalists. Excellence in academics is evidence, as many have received Scholar Athlete Awards and have been listed on Dean's lists. They show their willingness to serve others by tutoring, serving on campus committees, working with the handicapped, painting murals, or visiting children in hospitals. Some have worked with their teammates on various projects, some overseas. They have been team captains and taken younger players under their wings to guide them along. After completing their educations, they have been successful in careers including professions in engineering, medicine, art, teaching, administration, and businesses. Their pasts have been an indication of their future success. All of the qualities that we seek in our finalists contribute to their overall success in life. Over the years, we have had some great young adults come to this banquet as finalists. I have always thought of it as an opportunity for the Montana AAU to show off some of Montana's finest. Good luck to each of this year's finalists and all your future endeavors. I feel confident you will be successful in whatever you choose to do. Good luck.
So at this time, I'll turn the presentations of the Little Sullivan Award for 2021 over to my friend and colleague, Rich Melby.
All right. We didn't fall off the back of the stage yet. You guys can't see, but there's like this much room for the backs of these chairs up here. Troy almost whiffed it, and I'm pretty sure that new Bobcats coach would absolutely kill us if we send him back to Bozeman with another injury, right? We're just healing up after last year, so that's the last thing that we need. I am Richie Melby. I'll be your waiter, bartender, pool boy, milkman, postal delivery driver, co-pilot. Grab a drink, kick back, buckle up, and we'll have a little bit of fun here this evening as we get things rolling. It is the 2021 Montana Amateur Athletic Union Little Sullivan Award banquet. Of course, we've got some finalists up here. We've got some representation of some of the others. We've seen some awards handed out tonight for probably future finalists, I would think, for the Little Sullivan Award as well. So we just want to thank everybody for being here and celebrating the athletic excellence, as we mentioned, the academic, the volunteering, everything that goes on in here. And why are we here? Besides the prime rib and the booze and Big Bertha outside, which closes in like an hour and a half, so we need to get down that water slide and get things rolling here. But Gene just mentioned it. The history behind the Montana Little Sullivan Award, of course, is because of the Ravines family out of Miles City, and so we're gracious for the contributions that they brought to Montana AAU and the Little Sullivan Award, and of course gracious to be able to honor every single year some of the best in Montana. I don't know if you heard, but there was some damn virus last year. we do this annually, except for last year. We had a virtual Little Sullivan Awards last year, and so the 4 male and 4 female finalists, we wanted to bring them together, have an event just like this. We were unable to do so. You can see them on the screen up here, and if we could get last year's finalists to go ahead and stand up just to be recognized one more time, that'd be nobody. Nope. No, you clapped too soon. I was going to make him stand for at least 20 seconds before we said hi to Jason over here. Last year's winners in the top left corner, Catherine Russo, Butte Swimming. She is now at Ohio State and training for the Olympic trials right now, so obviously a very well-deserved. Her academics certainly match the athletic prowess for her. And then right below her, Gresh Jones, wrestler at Sidney and Dickinson State. He is at a wedding this weekend, not his, but is getting married later this summer, correct? And speaking of, we didn't get to celebrate him last year for the Little Sullivan Award, but just last summer, is that correct? Jason got married last summer as well, you guys, so. All right, the 8 reasons that we're here tonight are the finalists. I know what you're thinking, and it's not fair. Jared has better hair than the ladies. I know what else you're thinking. Nobody has a more beautiful smile than a wrestler. And Troy's is almost too much of a smile for a football player. Tiger just went all out. I don't know. No, the 8 finalists, we'll start things off with the ladies first. We'll go with all 4 of the finalists, announce the winner, give them an opportunity to speak, and then go on and do the same things on the fellas' side. Last chance to look at Jarrett's hair. It doesn't look nearly as good tonight as it does in that picture. That had to have taken some work, buddy. All right, your 4 female finalists this evening, in alphabetical order, last name first. Tristan Achenbach, Alexa Coyle, Glory Konechny. We've all been saying it wrong for about 14 years, guys. Thanks, Mom. And then Jean-Ann Lemlin as well, so we'll go ahead and pop into some of them. First up, Tristan Achenbach, who could not be here tonight. Today was senior day for the University of Montana softball team. They're heading into the Big Sky Conference tournament next weekend. Tristan was a 3-time high school state champion, spending time at the co-op between Choteau and Conrad, winning 2 state championships out there, and then jumping into Great Falls CMR for her last year, where she was also a state champion for the Lady Rustlers. 2-time Gatorade Player of the Year, and guys, I'm not kidding when I say her name is all over the MHSA record books. It is all over the MHSA record books in softball. 26 times it appears on those record books, and 16 of those are at the number 1 spot. Some of those that are in there, career doubles, consecutive wins, no-hitters, strikeouts, and more. Her name also appears under the most hits, most RBI, batting average, total wins, lowest ERA, and the record books list her with 4 perfect games, but I'm not sure that's updated. There might have been more than that throughout her time. As I mentioned, it was senior day earlier today, and she came into it with the career wins leading at UM. She's got 32 wins so far. Lady Grizz did lose earlier today, but they've got a chance to add to that in the Big Sky tournament next week. And she's right now number 2 in career strikeouts, 367. If I read the stats correctly, that jumped up to 370 after today's game. Multiple-time academic All-Big Sky Conference. She's been named the Big Sky Conference Pitcher of the Week. Last year finished with a 9-6 record and had a Big Sky leading 76 strikeouts. She was 4th in the conference in earned run average. And on 2 different occasions, she struck out 9 batters in games. That was last season. Her sophomore season, she was also academic All-Big Sky, 7-7 record, and she led the team, ranked 4th in the Big Sky, 86 strikeouts. And how about a program and Big Sky record, 16 strikeouts in a win over Carroll College. She's up at the top of both the Grizz and the Big Sky Conference. The accolades would continue her sophomore, freshman season. She played a lot in both of those. 5-inning no-hitter against the University of Providence. That was as a freshman, and the sky's the limit. Again, those guys are heading off to the Big Sky Conference tournament next weekend. Chatted with coaches, former coaches, current coaches, rival coaches about each one of these. And this is her former coach at Great Falls CMR, Lindsey Graham Gustafson. I knew from day one that she was going to be really good. She has a lengthy body and a positive attitude. She was so coachable, and you love those types of kids. And she's an athlete, and that makes it easier to make adjustments. And she's smart, so she picked up on things quickly. Ladies and gentlemen, your first finalist tonight is Tristan Achenbach. Finalist number 2, also from the University of Montana, and unfortunately also could not be here this evening, but it's Bozeman's Alexa Coyle. Also very decorated, starting in high school, where she was also a Montana Gatorade Player of the Year for the Bozeman Hawks. She won a state championship her senior season. If I remember correctly, that was also an undefeated season, perhaps, for Bozeman High. She was also named to the National Soccer Coaches Association of America Northwest Region team, and under that same organization was a Scholar All-American. So again, we're not just talking about the athletic accomplishments of these kids, it's also about academics and their volunteer work as well. Over at the University of Montana, 4-year starter, had one of the top freshman seasons in program history, starting in 20 of the 21 games for the Grizz that year. And she's currently wrapped up her season and career 9th all-time in history and career goals at the University of Montana with 19 goals. She was also a first-team All-Big Sky, second-team All-Big Sky. Every single season was academic All-Big Sky, and was voted to the Big Sky Conference All-Tournament team every single season as well. She was the team leader in goals and points every season, was the team captain in 2020 and 2021, and tied for first in the Big Sky with 4 game-winning goals in the 2018 season. Here's what her college coach had to say. How could you not want somebody like Alexa in your program? It's not often you get to work with a star like Alexa. What's impressed me the most has been the mindset of a professional player, just somebody who understands what it takes to keep getting better and keep getting better. She never stops, she never settles. Your second finalist this evening is Alexa Coyle. Your third female finalist could not be here this evening, but Mom is sitting in her place, Glory Konechny. Glory is one of the recent trailblazers in Montana High School Association inside of girls wrestling, starting first at Billings Skyview and wrapping things up at Billings West, where she became an MHSA state qualifier. She was nationally ranked her senior season and competed at multiple national tournaments, one of those placing at Fargo Nationals, which those familiar with wrestling know how big of a feat that is. She's also believed, and Mama, we didn't chat, believed to be the first female from Billings to earn a collegiate wrestling scholarship. I've seen that and heard that from multiple coaches, so that's also setting the way for some of the females, especially now that we have girls wrestling in Montana. She's now out at SOU, and at the inaugural NAIA Women's Wrestling National Invite, she placed 5th at 116 pounds and earned some All-American honors. Last season, that national meet was canceled because of the coronavirus pandemic. However, after that competition was canceled, the National Wrestling Coaches Association did announce some All-American selections based on the final top 10 rankings going into that, and it was right before the national invite was supposed to go as well. So she was ranked in the top 10 and placed, I think it was 6th on that All-American team, if I remember correctly, after last year. She secured a 7th place finish at the 2021 NAIA Women's Wrestling National Invite. That was 123 pounds. Had a quick 9-3 decision, then lost in the second round before battling back in the consolation bracket. And then she went on to win her next 3 matches, including a 10-0 tech fall to start things off. She went all the way down to a 2-1 decision in the tournament to finish 7th place, and giving her once again some All-American status. So far, a 5th place and 7th place finish at the NAIA Women's Invitational, and still more to come with a couple of years left to go, so the future is bright there. Ladies and gentlemen, your third female finalist is Glory Konechny. Glory's never shied. I guess I could read the quote from her coach, who I chatted with earlier today. Jeremy's running around here somewhere, but fastest response to a press request I think I've ever had in my life. I finished texting and it showed the 3 dots that he was already texting me back, you know. Glory's never shied away from competition or hard work. As her high school coach, I could always count on her to compete, give it everything she had, and leave it all on the mat. Her work ethic has led to her becoming a 2-time All-American at the college level, which is no surprise, Battling through injuries this season to earn that All-American honor is pretty spectacular, and with a few years of eligibility left in her career, I can only imagine what Glory will accomplish. The fourth and final female finalist tonight is Jean Ann Lemlin. Jean Ann in high school was a 3-sport team captain, 9-time varsity letter winner who just got better as time went on. She tore her ACL and essentially became a walk-on at Montana State University Billings, and I chatted with her coach, Kevin Wooden, earlier today, who would not stop talking about you, by the way, and may very well still be on the other line from the GNAC golf tournament that was going on, but said that it was one of the best decisions that he ever made to get you on that team, and he knew the family for quite some time, but getting her out turned out to be one of the best things that he'd ever seen at MSU Billings. Some of the accolades there for the Yellow Jackets. Go Jackets, by the way. GNAC All-Academic from 2017 to 2020, including the Farr Scholar Athlete Award. She was also, as you can see on the screen, some of the honors and accolades here. Most Inspirational in 2018, the Defensive Team MVP in 2019, and a conference championship in 2018 where the Yellow Jackets went on to be the NCAA Division II region champion, and what a run that was. She also earned the Athletic Endowed Scholarship Award, was named a team captain, and eventually worked her way up to GNAC Honorable Mention. And I know that Woody chatted a lot about the defensive efforts when you first started at MSU Billings, but the offense got better and better and better, and the walk-on went to scholarship along the way. She was named the MSUB Women's Basketball Player of the Year. That's voted on by the students, admin, and community. And she also was recognized as the Moment of the Year in MSUB athletics, which was pretty awesome as well. She also holds the program record for most three-pointers in a game with 10, and also became a member of the All-Decade team. She was named the Player of the Week, and was also named the Player of the Game 10 times for MSU Billings. 2019-2020 season stats. Hard to believe it's been that long ago now, hasn't it? Started all 30 games, first on the team, second in the conference in three-pointers per game, fourth in the conference in three-point percentage at just over 40% in the clip there. Led the team in minutes per game, was in the top 15 in steals per game, assists per game, and scoring per game in the GNAC, and a career high of 32 points. As I mentioned, chatted with Woody earlier today. If you're still on the line, Coach, go ahead and stay with us for a moment. Jean Ann personifies what you want a college student athlete to be. She came to MSUB as a walk-on, and I knew she would give me everything she had, and that's exactly what she did. Academically, she's off the charts. She's just the type of person that everyone wants to coach and surround themselves with. She gives you 100% every day, all the time, and has outstanding leadership abilities and represents what the Little Sullivan Award is all about. Ladies and gentlemen, your fourth and final female finalist is Jean Ann Lemlin. At this time, we will announce the 2021 Little Sullivan Award winner out of the 4 finalists, and the winner is Tristan Achenbach. Tristan obviously couldn't be here, like I said, senior day, but she did pass this along. Let's see if we can get it to work here. Just a quick little video actually earlier.
I just want to say thank you to the Montana Amateur Athletic Union for putting on this amazing night. I'm so bummed that I can't be there, but I just want to say thank you for letting all of us athletes get this opportunity to be here tonight and celebrate. I'm on my way to my senior day game, so I can't be there, but I just want to say thank you to all of my coaches that I've had and previous teammates. I really couldn't have had my athletic career that I've had without everyone around me. So thanks, and I hope everyone has a great night celebrating.
And once again, one more time for all 4 of the finalists, because being here and seeing some of the feats, the accomplishments, and that's just the start. There's obviously still plenty to go in the professional world as well. And now we'll move on to the male finalists. In alphabetical order once again, Troy Anderson, Jarrett Deegan, Tiger Fry, and Luke Weber. Starting things off with Troy. In high school, Troy Anderson helped lead Dillon's Beaverhead High School to Class A title games as a junior and senior, winning the 2016 state championship. He was named an All-State quarterback in Class A as both a junior and senior, All-USA Montana First Team Safety and Defensive Player of the Year, and was also named the Southwest Class A Offensive MVP in the past 2 seasons. Sorry, Grizz fans. That was the first picture that popped up, and I'm not even going to go. In his Montana State career, he's currently 9th in MSU history in rushing yards with just over 2,200 yards, 2nd in rushing touchdowns with 33, 6th in 100-yard rushing games with 11, and his 21 rushing touchdowns in 2018 was a school record. And the 1,412 rushing yards that season was also the 3rd best campaign in Montana State football history. That same season was also 6.85 yards per rush, school record, 9 100-yard rushing games, and 6 consecutive 100-yard rushing games during the 2018 season, school records. 211 rushing yards against Portland State in 2018. That's a school record for a quarterback, and one of the top 20 marks by any player in MSU history. In 2018, he scored a total of 128 points. That's a school record, and the 190 career points currently rank 6th. Troy will be suiting up for the Bobcats this fall. Multiple-time All-American, and it's kind of funny to go down the list because you don't know what position Troy's going to play, as Dave kind of alluded to a little bit earlier. First-team All-American, first-team All-Big Sky at linebacker, preseason All-Big Sky at fullback, Walter Payton Award watch list as an athlete. Those were all in the same season. I don't know which position you played that year. That was 2019. There was maybe a little bit of everything in there. And he was also the MSU's first All-Big Sky quarterback since Denarius McGee in 2012. Again, multiple-time All-Americans, multiple-time academic All-Big Skies as well. Ladies and gentlemen, your first male finalist is Troy Anderson. And here's what now former Montana State coach Jeff Choate had to say about Troy. His athleticism, and I think I've said this a number of times, I think he's on par with some of the best all-around football players I've had the opportunity to coach. So he's that type of an athlete, and that is very unique. Your second male finalist this evening is Jarrett Deegan. Jarrett won 4 consecutive state championships for Belgrade High School. All 4 of those came in a different weight class, 125, 132, 138, and 145 pounds. 3 of the 4 state championship matches came via pinfall. And in fact, if my record searching is correct, all but 2 of his state tournament victories came via pin. Does that sound right? That's impressive. 184-8 career record in high school. He was a double All-American at the 2016 USA Wrestling Junior Nationals and really made a splash on the national scene both in and out of season. Started things off at Virginia Tech, where he posted a 22-9 record while redshirting in 2016-2017, and then went on to Iowa State, where he remains right now. 96-37 collegiate record, if my math is right, and that redshirt sophomore season was a 29-8 record. That was the most wins on the team. 40 takedowns, tied for the team's best. He was the lone NCAA qualifier on the team his redshirt freshman season. 23 wins, once again the team best, and he was second in dual wins with 10, dual takedowns 37, and back points with 30. The quick stat list, the awards and honors. NCAA qualifier and 4th place at the Big 12 Championship in 2021. He was a first-team NCAA All-American in 2020, finished 3rd at the conference championships. A Cliff Keen Las Vegas Invite 6th place finish in 2019, where he also finished NCAA All-American in 7th place. That year was also a Big 12 runner-up finish in the conference championships. In 2018, another NCAA qualifier and 3rd place at the Big 12 Conference Championships. And he has announced that he's coming back for one more year, correct? So we get one more year of Jarrett rolling around. Here's what his coach had to say at Iowa State. He likes the 16,000 people looking at him, and that's what I like about him. He's the kind of guy that's been wrestling a long time, and he's been in a lot of big matches. He's a guy that likes to compete on the big stage. Ladies and gentlemen, your second male finalist. Third male finalist, Tiger Fry, as mentioned, unfortunately could not be here this evening. However, Billings Sr., first-team All-State wide receiver for the Bronx, 104 receptions, just about 1,200 yards and 14 touchdowns that senior season when they played in the state championship game, finishing runner-up. Tiger was also a state wrestling champion and was selected to the East-West Shrine Game in that summer. At Dickinson State, the career is impressive. Scored his first career touchdown at Rocky. Just happened to be where Dad played his college ball. Rub it in his face a little bit there, and that was just the beginning of a record-setting career. His name's all over the Dickinson State record books for a wide receiver, including single-game receptions. He had 16 against Waldorf in 2019. He also owns the number 2 mark in single-game receptions. Single-season receptions, 72 in 2019. And once again, he also holds the number 2 spot at Dickinson State in single-season receptions. Career receptions, 224, including 58 this past season. That game against Waldorf with the 16 receptions, he set Dickinson State's single-game receiving yards record with 194. And in his last regular season game for the Blue Hawks, had 10 catches for 172 yards and 3 touchdowns. He ranks number 4 and number 5 at DSU in single-season receiving yards, 873 and 845 respectively. And he's number 2 in program history in career receiving yards, just shy of 2,800 total, and number 3 in career receiving touchdowns, 29. Dickinson State finished the regular season 9-0 this last year and won a 6th straight North Star Athletic Conference title. His former high school coach, Chris Murdoch at Billings Senior. Tiger's a good all-around football player. He's tough and makes the big play in the big moment. He works his butt off year-round, and he wrestled. He's one of the hardest workers. It's a blessing to coach a kid like him because of his talent and his toughness. Ladies and gentlemen, your 3rd male finalist is Tiger Fry. And the 4th and final male finalist is Luke Weber. I couldn't tell you if it was Matt or Brandon or who's sitting up here, but there's a Weber sitting here with us this evening. High school at Forsyth, Luke was a 4-time state champion for the Dogies with a 212-5 record. He set Montana records for career wins with those 212 victories and also career pins, 174 in those MHSA record books. Montana records for season wins and pins, and was named the 2016 Montana Wrestler of the Year. Was also honored in 2016 by Win Wrestling Magazine and Cliff Keen Athletics. That was given to the nation's top pinner. Forsyth won the 2013 state championship, and he also won a senior nationals title at 145 pounds. But it wasn't just wrestling. Luke was also a 3-time All-State selection in football, competed in track and field, and was on the honor roll all 4 years. Started things off at Nebraska with a redshirt season, wrestling unattached, and put together a 26-7 record, 11 pins, 3 tech falls there. Won a couple of opens and also tied for first at another, and then transferred over after a couple of years to North Dakota State. With his past season, he went 16-4, and that picture you see right there is moments after winning a Big 12 conference championship. He was an NCAA qualifier and finished this year with a 3-2 record at those championships. As a junior, he placed 8th at 174 pounds at the Big 12 titles and finished 15-13. Finished that season at that point with a 44-25 career record. As we mentioned, that's advanced as well. Was 8-5 in duels. And Luke has also announced that he'll be coming back as well. So we get both of these guys to come back for one more. I think it's going to be like a redshirt COVID coronavirus senior, maybe is what they're going to be calling it. So Luke is going to be coming back as well. Here's what Luke's current coach at North Dakota State had to say. He's done a phenomenal job and he's fought. He's turned himself into a leader in the face of our program as of late. We couldn't be more excited at what he's accomplished. We think he has the ability to really turn some heads, and we're really excited for him. And as mentioned, the sky is still the limit as he comes back for one more season. Ladies and gentlemen, your 4th and final male finalist is Luke Weber. And at this time, we will announce the 2021 Montana AAU Little Sullivan Award winner. Honored to say it is Jarrett Deegan.
I didn't prepare for this. To you younger kids, it doesn't get easier standing up here in front of people, but it does get easier knowing the people. I grew up with the Sydney wrestlers, the Livingston wrestlers, Lewistown kids, Billings kids, pretty much all over the state. We grew up wrestling and traveling together. So it's good seeing some familiar faces and catching up with some people who have taken me places that I don't know if I could have gone without them. So thank you guys for that. And thanks, Mom and Dad. And yeah, thanks.
I was under the impression he was only going to say thanks, so we're going to take that. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time. There's only 2 winners, but there's 8 finalists. Every one of them deserves being here. Every one of them deserves what's coming to them in the future as well, and it's not just the athletics. There's going to be some bright, bright futures in the professional world as well. One more time for your Little Sullivan Award finalists.
So, with that said and done, unless Walt wants to draw tickets for something he's giving away, and I do not have a ticket. I lost my ticket. Somebody had it. It's gone.
5 tickets. Him and Blake think they're going to win.
I never win at anything you're involved in, Walt. Ever.
Okay. I'm only going to read the last 3 numbers on your ticket. Because all the other tickets say 7767. It's a good cribbage hand. Okay, we've got 3 baskets over here. So if you win, first winner is 793.
I have 739.
So please pick up your basket and bring it up to me. I'll take care of it for you. I had 0 chance to win. He never lets me win. Don't tell him that I could get some. Okay, Blake.
And the second. Seven, 0, 5. Yeah.
Blake, it was a good try. We could have split that basket. How come she won? She got awards already. Last time.
The first 4 numbers are 7767. The last 3 numbers are 6, 8, 1.
You didn't win?
6-8, yeah, 6-8-5.
Oh, look who won. Glory's mother. Kelly, you gonna bring that up and give it to me now? We don't want it going back to Billings. With the drawing be completed now, Walt, or you got other things you want to give away?
I don't think, Janelle,
Nope, we're good.
We are good.
we're good.
And with that said, yes, sir.
G's good.
I'm not giving you the brick. I might throw it at you.
Thank you.
With that said, that brings the conclusion of the 2021 Montana Little Sullivan Award. I would like to thank everyone who's here, who participated in honoring these great athletes in Montana. Mr. Ferris, I'm so sorry that I did not get to you when I was up here announcing your thing. But I mean, I got to go to Dillon once in a while, so I'm not going to get out of trouble down there. Thank you for coming, and have a great evening. Thank you. Okay. Yes, we can.